Okay guys, I have to start this recap with a little confession. That AMD report from June, on page 2, I freaking listed the current stock price as $166. That was a typo, a dumb one on my part. The actual price when that report dropped was $116. But you know what? Maybe that was a bit of foreshadowing, because the price did reach $166. Actually, it blew right past that. But just before we get into that, let's have a quick look at one other stock I called in the Discord server. The ticker was ACAD, which, as you can see in the screenshot, I called undervalued when it was just $20.55 on the 29th of September, an almost perfect entry, because shortly after, the stock shot up roughly 30% in just 3 months. Another W for the Discord guys. The best bit is, I'm sure this stock still has more growth potential. It's definitely worth a watch. But anyways, getting back on today's topic, ticker AMD, which I did an analysis of back in June and entered around $102. Since then, the stock has more than doubled, a staggering 115% gain. This was the single biggest W of 2025. I still remember people telling me that Nvidia was too powerful and would crush AMD, but I ignored the bipolar news and stuck to my guns. Here's a bit of comparison for perspective. Since early June, the S&P 500 has had a solid run, up roughly 17%. That's fantastic market performance, to be honest. But our AMD play? It smashed that, delivering returns over 5 times greater. This wasn't just another fluke, but a result of deep due diligence and investing based on logic, risk management, and having a forward-looking mindset. So what launched it? Our report's core thesis was kinda spot on. We highlighted on page 3 that AI GPU demand for the Instinct M1300X and data center growth from EPYC servers were the main key drivers. To be fair, the catalysts hit much faster than I expected. Breakthrough AI chip announcements, major data center wins, and explosive earnings that turned those lofty expectations we mentioned into reality. And just like that, investor sentiment went from hopeful to straight up euphoric. But here's the real takeaway from this win. I didn't follow panicking news headlines when the stock had dropped more than 40% from its all-time highs. I focused on the fundamental story, those crazy growth percentages in the table on page 2, the exploding free cash flow, and I had the patience to wait for my entry. This win is a testament to that process. The old me would have panic sold and then tried to buy in after it had run up, only to sell once the price corrected again. Another important note I need to remind myself of is the fact that there is always an element of luck to this. A few big wins don't make me a genius. The market has been extremely volatile, but overall has been pretty good to us. I can't let this get to my head, because the market goes through cycles. Hence, every stock must be analyzed on a case-by-case basis. But yeah, this is another nice win for the books. To everyone in the Discord who was digging into the specs of the M1300X, tracking data center market share, and building that conviction alongside me, I hope you're celebrating. I get it. It's not easy seeing your investment drop further after you've entered a stock that looks like it's just in constant freefall, but your patience paid off. Nice one. If you're watching this and thinking, I want to find the next opportunity with this kind of potential, you need to be where the research is happening. I'll leave a link below if you're interested. Just remember, huge wins like this don't happen every day, but you want to be in the right place when they do come round, so you're not kicking yourself for missing them. And that concludes today's recap, guys. That was AMD, a 115% home run from the June 2025 report. And as always, stay disciplined, trust your research, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.